Hello everyone and welcome to week 4, module 4 in professional issues for the baccalaureate prepared nurse. I'm Dr. Bice and today we'll be talking a little bit about what you will expect in module 4 of this course. So let's enter module 4 through Blackboard. This week we will be focusing on leadership and management within the organizational system as well as through a private nursing system. In addition, we will be talking about the ethical principles and tools for ethical decision making. You do have your module objectives listed here, but let's focus a little bit on your to-do list. So this week you do have a few chapters to read in your course textbook. We'd also like for you to complete a couple of web lessons here on practice with delegation principles and then on a web lesson on change quotient. Now, here in number 3, we did attach the rubric again for the Contemporary Nursing Issue Project, as well as Contemporary Nursing Issue Paper Outline and the sample format for Contemporary Nursing Issue Paper. Let me please recommend that each of you take another look at each 3 of these resources here. Based on the first draft, it is clear that some of you may not have actually reviewed these carefully. So these 3 resources here will be incredibly beneficial and helpful for your learning, as well as moving forward with your second draft and moving forward with your final paper for the contemporary nursing issue. Next, we have a copy of the Creative Professional Identity Project rubric again. Let's open that up. So in addition to your directions here, I want to once again point you to these media tools here that you should be opening up, playing around with, seeing which one you like so to create your video for your Creative Professional Identity Project, which you will then upload to YouTube and submit as your assignment. If you have not already opened up this rubric and taken a look at the criteria as well as taken a look at the movie makers that we would like for you to use, the media tools, then I suggest you do this as soon as possible, as this project is soon going to be due for submission. Next, I did want to open your outline and also your rubric for your Contemporary Nursing Issue Project. Let's take a look at the outline. Now, in draft 1, you had to do the explanation of the issue as well as the proposed strategy. And what I was finding in the explanation of the issue section, you're having some difficulty addressing each one of these points. So please make sure that for each draft you submit and the final paper, that you open this nursing issue paper outline and you look at each one of these criteria to address. The other important thing is this is not a bulleted or outlined form of a paper. This is a paper that should be written in paragraph format, in APA format, with a cover page, a body, and a conclusion. So even though we have bullets here on your outline, you don't want to submit your drafts or your final paper in bulleted format. You want to submit that in paragraph format. Be sure that you are identifying the problem, that you get a definition of the issue from the literature, that you're discussing how prevalent the issue is, and you're talking about the top 3 causes or reasons for the issue, and then the problems that are associated with this issue or the negative outcomes. Additionally, with this proposed strategy section, I found that most of you did struggle here, which is very common. That's why I like to take a lot of time to go over this section. Your proposed strategy is going to be evidence-based. So when I say that, what I mean is you want to find literature to support the strategy that you are suggesting. I understand that many of you are nurses with several years experience, or you may have a little bit less experience in nursing but a lot of life experience in other areas. So it's going to be easy for you to propose a strategy that you think may work to solve this problem. However, that's not appropriate for this assignment. What you need to do is find evidence or literature to support your strategy the same way that you found evidence and literature to discuss your prevalence, your causes, and your outcomes. So when you're putting together an idea to solve the problem of your nursing issue, you want to make sure that that's an idea or a related idea found in the literature to show that there's evidence that it will work. So for an example, Burnout in nursing is an issue. Yes, it is. Burnout in nursing has been found in literature to cause emotional problems in nurses, anxiety, stress, depression. It can also lead to poorer patient outcomes, longer admissions to the hospital, medication errors, tons of literature to support that. There's also literature to say that the causes of nursing burnout are related sometimes to poor management, low staffing, underlying conditions in nurses. A lot of literature to support what the causes are. There's also literature to support that burnout in nursing can be helped with improvement in management skills, with nursing education, continuing education classes for nurses on the unit to talk about what burnout and compassion fatigue are, and then also to make sure that nurses are well staffed and they have adequate resources to do their job. That would be a proposed strategy. So if you write to me in your paper that you would like to solve your problem with A, B, or C, you want to make sure that there's literature that says A, B, or C actually works. You cannot submit a paper to me that says this is the problem I want to solve and this is how it's going to be fixed with an opinion. It must be evidence-based. All right, so let's move on from that. In addition to looking at your creative professional identity project rubric, there is a reflection activity that we would like for you to complete. This is number 5. Again, all of your classroom activities are not submissions for grades. They are simply activities to help with your learning and your knowledge in the course. What you will be submitting this week is your discussion board assignment number 4. That is a discussion post on nurse leaders, and I have always found that students enjoy this discussion because it's always nice to talk about a leader nurse that you have known to be somebody that was an example for you. And then you also are submitting your second draft of the contemporary nursing issue paper. Please focus on the feedback that I've given you prior to submitting your second draft. The submission of drafts are for your benefit. It does not do me any good to have a draft submitted. It does you good to have a draft submitted because I will give you all the feedback possible in order for you to be highly successful or optimally successful on your final paper. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I believe that everyone in the class can get an A on this paper because my feedback is so in-depth. You just have to put forth the work. All right, so this week on your draft, you're going to be covering the adequate and appropriate data to support the position and conclusion. That's essentially what we were just talking about. Find the literature to support what your strategy and your position are. There are some additional resources that we've listed here for you that we'd like for you to take a look at. You can use those as references in your discussion board and also for your own learning in the course this week. And then here are the directions for your discussion for assignment number 4, again, focused on nurse leaders. Remember that your directions for your response and primary posts are never the same each week, so pay attention to what you need to do. Whether you're responding to 1 student, 2 students, you're posting a reference for them, etc., directions are always different. You will be looking to a nursing standard scope here for your answer, so make sure that you're opening this, and then pay attention here. The leadership can be found on page 55 to 56. We've just given you a little bit of a quick view so that you can go right to the information that you need to answer the question. Here's where you are submitting your second draft of the contemporary nursing issue paper. Again, you'll find your rubric, your outline, and your sample format of the paper here if you need to look at that. Again, if you are working with a partner, you will always need to submit your own copy of the paper, even if your partner submits it for you. Next, for those of you who are in a group, if you have not yet gone into your group, you need to go into users and groups here and find the group listed under the title of your topic, and you'll find your name. You should be correlating and corresponding with your partner, sharing documents, talking with one another in this group so that I can see who's putting forth the effort. Your final grade will be dependent not just on your paper, but how well I see that you are working together. All right, I believe that's all I have for Module 4. Should you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and have a great week.